What's happening, everybody? Welcome to ADD GT. I'm AJ, and today we are covering the Nurburgring Endurance event. This is after version 1.31 on the new update, and I'm going to kind of cover this and go through some tips and tricks and a really good car for it. So we are using the Zonda R 2009. I did find that it was very understeery, so I had to make some adjustments. I moved the anti-roll bar stiffness in the rear. I upped that a little bit to promote a little more oversteer, and I also made some small adjustments on my differential. You can also see that the full control computer is installed. Most everything else is the same. I did get a fully customizable manual transmission and medium RPM turbocharger and the steering wheel angle adapter. So that's pretty much it for this car. I'm starting out on racing mediums and I'm running my fuel mixture all the way to 6. So I've found that this thing does phenomenal on fuel as long as you do that. I haven't really meddled around too much in the mid area, like fuel mixture of 5 and anything like that. I didn't really need to. As you'll soon see, the car is significantly faster even on that lean mixture than any other car on the track. So winning is relatively easy with this car. So if you're struggling with this car is an awesome option for it. I do recommend using those settings or coming up with settings of your own either way. But right out of the box, the car, it suffers from understeer very badly, and makes it almost useless on the Nurburgring without those adjustments. But with the adjustments, it's basically a weapon, and second to none as far as what real competition is. A few downsides to the car. It's not forgiving at all. It is a mid-engine car, so if you clip the dirt, it's really important that you exercise braking control and throttle control, depending on the situation. I found it's best just to coast back onto the asphalt, and at that point apply the brakes or accelerator, whatever the case may call for. Other than that, though, the car is freaking awesome. It's really fun to drive. It's fast. It's really good on fuel, and it makes for a really easy win. If you don't want to use this car, another good option is the AMG, the Mercedes Group 3 race car. It does quite well on this. There's a few different setup options for that. You can get creative. The turbo with a decent fuel mixture goes a long way, or even just straight stock. The car's got an excellent fuel range and does very well on the Nurburgring. So that's kind of my go-to. I just kind of stumbled across this when I was messing with it. Dialed it in a little bit. I didn't get too crazy with those settings. You could probably improve it, if it's something you want to do. For me, I'm just kind of covering this race once, and I'm probably never going to use it for like a money grind or anything. I do enjoy the Nurburgring, so I'll probably come and play it just for that aspect. But that's me personally. So. As you can see, we're doing quite well. I've already moved up quite a few positions and steadily gaining on first even. I do feel a pretty good amount of pressure, with this race being so short. It is only 3 laps, and starting off in the very back and working your way through the pack and overtaking. It's quite challenging to do it in such a short time frame. I think if the race was just another lap or 2 longer, it wouldn't be nearly as challenging. But it's almost like a pass, on the missions. It's kind of what it reminds me of, you're just pushing. But, I'm pushing a lot harder than I really needed to. You don't have to drive perfect or do anything really phenomenal to win with this particular car. If you can keep it on the road, you're good. That's pretty much all it comes down to. The car is very capable. As you can see, we're still cruising right along. We've gained a second or so on first since we last looked. And you can see that we have actually barely used any fuel so far, and we're almost halfway through our first lap here. I do have to say, this car is really, really fun to drive. So, if you guys are struggling with this car is definitely a good option. You know, doing a couple warm-up laps by yourself, like on a time trial or what have you, is always a good bet, you know, and just try to enjoy the car. It seems like when you just kind of find the joy in the track and not so much the stress of trying to win, that's kind of when you're at your best, you know. You might find yourself getting some pretty spectacular lap times. You know, getting to know the track a little bit, you know, that's really, really key, where you can go fast, where you can't, and how your car is going to handle in those different situations. Knowing all that are probably the biggest parts of it. You know, that's really going to set the ground for your success on this track. You know, I do run my fuel mixture on 6 all the way to lap 2, and at the end of lap 2 on the final straightaway, I then bring my fuel mixture down all the way to 1, run at full power, and then I go ahead and pit, you know, on the final lap, and I refuel the fuel completely, leave it on full power, and I throw on racing soft composite tires and finish out my race that way. You know, you can do it however, you know, obviously that's up to you. This has just been a pretty solid tactic, and it worked well, so, you know, we went ahead and sent it. And, you know, I think getting in a clean race on this would be relatively easy, you know, if you just practice and take your time. You know, you don't really need to push too hard, and that's obviously where you're going to make the most mistakes, is when you're pushing hard and you're under stress, you know. But you know, just a nice, smooth, clean race, and we got her, you know. Just try to enjoy the track and get a feel for your car. What else can you do, right? So anyways, let me know what you guys think, and you know, if you want to see any other videos, you know, anything particular that you want covered, like, you know, it doesn't really matter, so just let me know what you guys think. I want to keep doing content, and you know, it's fun, so let me know, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys with the rest of the race. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Also, I did not mean to guide this AI car into the wall, but you know, it happens. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
was at this moment he knew he messed up.